that there are resources coming forth, and they will be able to take action to try to prevent that. So I'm asking the Republican leaders in the House and the Senate to call Congress back into session immediately and to pass the bipartisan funding bill that the Senate passed. The Senate passed a bill. And unfortunately, a different bill was passed in the House, and no agreement could be reached before they went out on recess. So pass the bipartisan bill from the Senate, or come up with a new compromise that does the same and in fact tries to get those resources moving as quickly as possible. I disagree with those who say that Zika is an insignificant issue. My opponent in this race, his campaign officials have said that, and I think that does a grave disservice because when you come here to a health clinic that is working so hard to get people to come in, to get tested, working with the health departments, working with sanitation departments, working with people to try to go after and prevent the population of mosquitoes from growing, this is something we need to take seriously, and I certainly do. If we pass this critical funding, we can develop rapid diagnostic testing and treatment and even begin the hard work of developing a vaccine. And we shouldn't rest until we get that done. This is always a problem on the brink of a public health challenge. If it hasn't happened to you, it hasn't happened to somebody you know, it's hard sometimes to get people mobilized. But this is an epidemic that will only grow and affect more people. I really appreciate something that when we were discussing with the doctors and administrators, Dr. Marty said, if you prevent yourself from being bitten by a mosquito, you prevent a mosquito from reproducing. So everybody has a role in this. You may not be a pregnant woman or even any longer possibly being a pregnant woman, but you could be a person bitten by a mosquito, and you could then have it transmitted to you or transmitted to someone from you. So everybody has a stake in this, and that's really why I'm here, to underscore that. We don't want to wake up in a year and read so many more stories about babies like the little girl who just died in Houston. That is just not something we should tolerate in our country. So again, I want to thank the staff here and their partners, university at FIU and University of Miami and others who are really focused on this. And I also just want to underscore, we need a public health system that really works for everybody, because with changes in climate, more and more diseases are going to find their way right here to the United States that before we did not see. With mobility, as easy as it is around the world, as we saw with Ebola, diseases are going to find their way here. So this is one of the canaries in the mine. If we don't deal with Zika, we will have consequences. But if we don't deal with the bigger issue of making sure we have the premier public health system in the world, which is what we should be providing for the people who live in our country, and it will then set the gold standard for what happens everywhere else, we're missing a great opportunity to keep our people healthy and to deal with a lot of the diseases that unfortunately are going to be coming our way. So again, let me thank everyone here at the center and thank all of you for coming today, and thank you for the work you do every day to keep people healthy. Thank you all.
Thank you, Hillary.